Get ready for the dictation. Start. Relevant passage from the aforesaid decision is extracted as under for better appreciation. For answer to the above question, we have to see the effect of the jurisdiction clause in the agreement, which provides that the agreement shall be subject to jurisdiction of the courts at Kolkata. It is a fact that whilst providing for jurisdiction clause in the agreement, the words like alone, only, exclusive or exclusive jurisdiction have not been used, but this, in our view, is not decisive and does not make any material difference. The intention of the parties by having clause 18 in the agreement is clear and unambiguous, that the courts at Kolkata shall have jurisdiction, which means that the courts at Kolkata alone shall have jurisdiction. It is so because for construction of jurisdiction clause like clause 18 in the agreement, the maxim expressio unius est exclusio ulterius comes into play, as there is nothing to indicate to the contrary. This legal maxim means that expression of one is the exclusion of another. By making a provision that the agreement is subject to the jurisdiction of the courts at Kolkata, the parties have impliedly excluded the jurisdiction of other courts. Where the contract specifies the jurisdiction of the courts at a particular place and such courts have jurisdiction to deal with the matter, we think that an inference may be drawn that parties intended to exclude all other courts. A clause like this is not hit by Section 23 of the Contract Act at all. Such clause is neither forbidden by law nor it is against the public policy. It does not offend Section 28 of the Contract Act in any manner. That apart, it has next been contended that clause 14 of the fuel supply agreement provides an in-house mechanism for settlement of disputes or difference arising out of the agreement. Thus, it is contended that such forum should first have been chosen by the petitioners for redressal of their grievance. Learned counsel for the respondents has placed reliance upon a decision of the Apex Court rendered in Pimpri Chinchwad Municipal Corporation and Others versus Gayatri Construction Company and another 2008 8 Supreme Court cases 172 in this regard. According to the respondents, the Apex Court has held that the High Court ought not have entertained the writ application, as the arrangement already provides in-house remedy for settlement of dispute. It has been urged that in view of that also the writ application would not be maintainable. In view of the preliminary objection raised on behalf of the respondents, I have heard learned counsel for the petitioners on that issue also, as it would be meaningless to consider and take a decision on merit of the case if it has finally to be held that the writ application is not maintainable. However, if it is decided that the petitioners can maintain this writ application, then other points on merit would have to be considered and decided. Mr. Ajit Kumar Sinha, learned senior counsel appearing for the petitioners, has vehemently opposed the submissions made on behalf of the respondents on the issue of maintainability. It has been contended that the division bench of this court, without discussing the prevalent judicial pronouncements of the Apex Court on the issue, had gone to decide the issue of maintainability only by reading the clause 18.4 of the agreement. it has not been considered the decision of the Constitution Bench of the Honorable Supreme Court rendered in L. Chandra Kumar versus Union of India and others 1997 3 Supreme Court cases 261 holding that the jurisdiction conferred on the High Court under Articles 226/227 and on the Supreme Court under Article 32 is a part of basic structure of the Constitution and thus cannot be taken away even by any statute. What to say about an agreement between the parties? Stop.